break the rules.
Look out!
To become a hero. I do it, I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
Oh, can you see into my eyes like open doors?
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was released in 2022 and was directed by Sam Raimi. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like the ultimate recipe for success. And I thought that too, but oh boy, were we wrong. Now, by no means is this the worst film that I've ever seen, but we need to talk about this. There is so much that works together to sabotage this film that it can't be narrowed down to just one thing, as the film suffers from a loaded plot, so many character arcs that need more time, and really bad pacing. In short, this movie went to the Justice League 2017 School of Pacing and got a master's degree in fuck you. This plot is equivalent to watching Two Girls, One Cup for the first time in the sense that I didn't truly understand what was happening when I was watching it. All I know is that I didn't like it and I would have preferred to know what I was getting myself into before I sat down and I wasted my time. The film opens with America Chavez and Dr. Dickhead traveling through the multiverse where they are then attacked by a CGI thing. No, not this thing. No. That thing. Yup, there we go. Strange is then killed, leaving behind his corpse and America to be sent to the Marvel Universe that we all know and tolerate at this point. From here, our Doctor Strange finds her and then goes on a mission to protect her from the Scarlet Witch, as she herself is on a mission to girl boss her way through the multiverse in an attempt to get her kids back. Yep, just her kids. Not Vision, though, because, continuity's hard. We learn that Wanda's been possessed by the Darkhold and now has poopy fingers and is evil. And because of America's superpower to be convenient to the plot, open portals to different realities, Wanda needs her to open her a portal so that she can get her hands on another set of kids. The Illuminati gets involved briefly, Mortal from another universe causes some shenanigans, more girl bossing ensues, and then Doctor Strange battles an evil version of Doctor Strange using the power of moon runes and love before he becomes a zombie and convinces America to punch the evil out of Wanda. Lots of punching happens, and then the movie ends. Obviously, there's a lot more bells and whistles to the film, but even from my synopsis, you can see that this film is overstuffed given the hour and 55-minute runtime. The movie needed more time, and because of this, we barely get to know America Chavez beyond the fact that she has a superpower and, let me check my notes real quick, is scared to use that power. Doctor Strange becomes a side character in a movie that, has his name in the title, and Wanda's motivation to turn to the dark side still feels half-baked despite the fact that it's been built up for years. This poor guy. Despite having 4 versions of himself in the movie, Doctor Strange still feels far from the main character of the film. Benedict Cumberbatch does fine in the film, but it feels like Doctor Strange is just reacting to things in the film as opposed to actually being productive in the plot and actually causing progression to happen. Also, Christine Palmer is in the film, and Doctor Strange is still in love with her despite their bond never really seeming all that great aside from that What If episode. Like I said, Doctor Strange is fine in the movie. He does the usual thing where he breaks rules and makes everything okay by the end, but he's not the main character of the film. If you want to talk about the main character of the film, we have to talk about as previously stated, this isn't Doctor Strange's movie. This is Wanda's movie. Doctor Strange is in it, but the bulk of the screen time is dedicated to Wanda hunting down Strange and Chavez, which would be interesting in theory, except no one really makes Wanda feel like the villain until she straight up says, "I'm the villain," and then puts a red filter on everything around her to emphasize the point. And there lies the main issue with the Scarlet Witch. She's never really referred to as a villain, even when her actions are clearly in the wrong.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
I could commit various assorted war crimes. Just because I write a note to the president telling him how sorry and soft I am, it means literally nothing. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm probably gonna be shanked in said prison and killed. In short, Wanda needs to face consequences from outside forces. Yeah, I know, she loses her kids and she loses Vision by the end of WandaVision, but beyond that, no one tells her that she's wrong. She's not persecuted for enslaving a whole town, she just gets dirty looks. Other than that, nothing. She's just left by herself so that she can say more lines about being sad, so that Marvel stands can make edits with her using Katy Perry's roar in the background or something like that. And it really is a shame because I like Elizabeth Olsen as this character. If done correctly, this could have been the perfect storyline for an Avengers movie, and it could have been the MCU's answer to something like X-Men's Dark Phoenix saga. But unfortunately with this one, Marvel girl bosses a little bit too close to the sun and half-asses an arc that required full effort. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about America Chavez from the comics, so for all I know, she could be God's gift to the Marvel continuity. However, from what I saw in this movie, I could go with or without her. I mean, her powers make this really cheesy star effect that is totally Sam Raimi, and it looks pretty cool. The only other notable thing she does is steal a pizza ball, and then Bruce Campbell tells her that she has to pay for it, and then she acts shocked when she finds out that food in our universe has to be paid for. Now, of course, this starts a dialogue of, how does her society work? How have they been put in a place where they don't have to pay for food? Who's producing these goods and services for free? What sort of systems are implemented to make sure that everyone is equal yet fair? Is this communism? What is this? How does this society function where you don't have to pay for food? And if you don't have to pay for food, then what else has to go unpaid for in society? What are the rules here? Please, movie, I'm trying to work with you, but you're giving me a movie with like different realities, and the most unbelievable thing I hear about is the fact that you have to not pay for food in a reality. That's not how an economy works.
Oh, okay.
The problem with this film is not the cameos that they use. In fact, I think that the cameos more so signify an issue with the fandom as well as the marketing of the film. Was it smart for Marvel to center all of their TV spots around the inclusion of Professor X, Captain Carter, and Captain Marvel? Probably not, but in Marvel's defense, at least they never promised that these characters would be big players within the plot. And the trailer's reliance on them is just likely due to positive fan response to Spider-Man No Way Home. Along with this, fan expectations for this film was always unrealistically high. Remember when this Reddit post was making the rounds? The worst part is that there were people who unironically did want to see every single Fox, X-Men, Daredevil, Fantastic Four in this film, and they chose to believe this. Come on, people. Ben Affleck hates superheroes. You couldn't throw enough money at him to be Batman, let alone be Daredevil. But unrealistic expectations aside, how do these cameos play into the plot? Short answer is they barely do, but I think all the members of the Illuminati do pose interesting what-if scenarios, and they work for one-and-done type scenarios. For example, what if Captain Marvel was an actual human being instead of a robot? What if Black Bolt looked like a pervert? What if Captain America was a bloke? What if Mr. Fantastic had the power of Jim Face? And what if Marvel got you to just buy one more Professor X Funko Pop? While none of these make meaningful contributions to the plot, I do respect the movie's choice to include these fan favorites and then kill them off straight away in favor for the main characters who we actually have some sort of connection to. One important thing is that all of these characters are morons. The Illuminati interrogate Doctor Strange. Meanwhile, Wanda's just destroying every single Ultron bot that they have. And then, stupid Mr. Fantastic tells Wanda how to kill stupid Black Bolt. And then after they're both dead, stupid Captain Carter gets killed by her own shield. And everyone on this team is just a moron.
I sense no danger here.
Now, I know when it comes to this movie, I've done a lot of complaining. And while the movie's not great by any means, it's not entirely awful either. Sam Raimi does have a very distinct and goofy directing style, and while at points in the film his style seems more dated than Your Mother, there are other times where he does these transitions that seem very basic at first, but they're rarely seen in Marvel films, so it makes it feel extremely fresh when compared to everything else that Marvel's done. The music action scene between Doctor Strange and Evil Doctor Strange, I'm not gonna lie, is a little bit weird at first, but it is very interesting, and it's a nice idea that does make for a unique fight. And Strange's sleepwalking sequence to becoming Zombie Strange is a type of Sam Raimi campiness that I wish we got more of because it mixes horror and fun so perfectly. In addition to this point, Black Bolt's death was also pretty gruesome but also kind of stupid, and it's something that we don't get much in Marvel movies. So I was a fan of Marvel stepping out of their comfort zone for the time being and doing something that, you really don't really see them do too often. To say the very least, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a movie. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's not as bad as some people on the internet would have you believe. I'm not upset that they didn't have a million cameos. Instead, I'm just upset of how many ideas and plot points they have that they just sort of overstuffed in a 2-hour film. And nothing is given enough time to reach its full potential, and I think that's worse than not having some random cameo that I really couldn't care less about. Because of this, the movie just sort of ends prematurely, and ultimately, it left me feeling unsatisfied and pretty disappointed.